Hey everybody, thanks for clicking that thumbnail. Welcome to Talking Habs, and since it's still Boxing Day, Merry Christmas to everybody, and hope you're getting good deals online on Boxing Day. And okay, so this video today, we're going to talk about the Montreal Canadiens 2021 schedule. The schedules were released a few days ago, and it overall wasn't as bad as I thought. So we'll check it out. Before we get to that, if you're new to the channel, you're a Habs fan like I am, please subscribe and ring that notifications bell. That's down there. That'll get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. You get videos like this, game reviews, game previews, live streams, all kinds of stuff. So please do that and leave any comments you may have about the schedule in the comment section. Let's get right into it. So like I said, I found not as bad as I thought. There are a couple of really intense periods in this schedule, and it's just that there weren't any of those back-to-back two games, and then there were no 5 games against the same team in a row, but there were some 4 games, and we'll check it out. So of course, like I guess it's the tradition for, I don't know exactly how long, but we start against Toronto and end against Toronto. That's the same here. The end of the season is going to be really tough, and the season starts out with 6 games on the road. So they start out in Toronto with the first game. It's a single game. Yeah, there are a couple of these single games where you're only playing one. So it's not all 2 blocks or 3 block games. So that's something that's different. They then go to Edmonton on the 16th and 18th. So their first 3 games, Toronto and Edmonton. And then they hit their first 3 games in a row at a place that's in Vancouver. They spend 3 games in Vancouver. That's pretty interesting. They come home to play Calgary for 2, Vancouver for 2, and then Ottawa for 2, but they're home and away. So 1-1, home and away. So they're doing that. I don't know if there are any back-to-backs. There's a back-to-back here. There's a back-to-back here. So there's 2 back-to-backs already at this point. They go to Toronto for 1 game, Edmonton for 1 game, and then they're back in Toronto for a home-and-home series. So they'll play Toronto and then come back home, play Toronto again. I think that's it for Toronto till the end of the season. Oh, maybe not. They play 2 games in Ottawa, 2 games in Winnipeg, back to Ottawa. Ottawa comes to Montreal. Winnipeg comes to Montreal. They're out to Vancouver for 2 games, in Calgary for 2, Winnipeg for 2, home against Vancouver, 3 games against Edmonton at home. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be playoff hockey. 3 games against Edmonton. McDavid, Draisaitl. Edmonton last year, Montreal didn't beat them. So let's see how they do against them this year. But 3 games in a row there. Then 4 games in a row against Ottawa, but in an interesting way. 1 game in Montreal, 2 games in Ottawa, back to Montreal for a game. Edmonton at home, Toronto on the road, Winnipeg at home for 2 games. Toronto at home for a game, and then Calgary at home for 2, and then now we get the last 11 games, and this is where it really gets intense. If it hasn't been intense yet, at this point through the season, the last 11 games are going to be tough, because 7 of the last 11 games are on the road, and in the last 6, Toronto 4 times. It's going to be not easy. So the last 11 games, 2 of them are in Edmonton, 3 in Calgary. So think about that. They got on the road 2 in Edmonton, 3 in Calgary, and at this point, who knows what the standings are going to be like, right? So we don't really know exactly. Then they're home to Toronto for a game, Winnipeg for a game, Ottawa for a game. Toronto comes back for a game, and then they're in Toronto for the last 2 games of the season. So the last 3 games of the season, they are playing against Toronto. 1 at home, 2 in Toronto. So if Toronto and Montreal, say, are fighting it out for that first and second spot, or to see who's going to play each other in the playoffs, that can be a super intense closing of the season. So I'm telling you, this is like playoff hockey all the way through. There may be some lull periods, and you can see there's a couple of times where they've got some good breaks. You got 7 days off here in between games, or I should say 6, I guess. From the 13th to the 20th of February, there's no games. There's a couple of breaks like that where they've got a little bit of time to catch their breath here at the end of the season, in between the game against Toronto in Montreal and the 2 last 2 games on the road, there's a 3-day break. So, there's some time built in between. It's not going to be just constant game after game after game. They do give them a little bit of break time. So that's good to know, but it's going to be very intense. I didn't count up how many games. Let's count up Toronto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is one up there? 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 games against Toronto. 10 games against Toronto. And I didn't count up everything, but since they're playing 6 other teams, it's 56 games. It's not 10 games against each team. So Toronto, they're going to get the 10 games. That's going to be really interesting. That rivalry is going to really heat up if it hasn't been intense enough already over the last few years. So there you go. That's what it's going to be. The regular season is going to end May 8th, last game against Toronto. There's a 3-day break. Playoffs start May 11th. Hopefully Montreal will be one of those teams in the playoffs. And hopefully, I'm really hoping actually Montreal-Toronto actually gets a playoff series. That would be great. Hasn't happened since, I think in the 70s, 77, I want to say 1977. Maybe it was 79, but it was in that last run of 4 cups that Montreal won at the end of the 70s. And I'd love to see it happen here again. And maybe it will happen. It's going to be a very intense season. There's a lot of... there'll be even some new rivalries. Just think about it. Montreal, yes, Toronto, and yes, Ottawa. Those are natural rivals because they're so close. But then now, there's going to be so many games against Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary. Those rivalries are going to heat up as well. And it's going to just be so interesting. So hopefully you're looking forward to seeing this season with one division, all Canadian. We don't go outside that, and we'll see how it goes. So let me know what you think in the comment section about this schedule. You think it's crazy? What do you think about the last 11 games? Let me know in that comment section. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel or you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. That's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge right here at Talking Habs. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to be doing a live stream, depending on when you watch this, but I'm going to try to live stream some of the World Junior Championship games, starting with the one right after this. I'm filming this on Boxing Day, the 26th. The game is coming up soon, so I don't know when you're watching this if you'll be able to watch that, but I'm live streaming. I'm not showing the game. When I do live stream the World Junior Championships games, I'm not showing them, but I'll do a little bit of play-by-play if I can figure out the names, and I will, we can talk about what's going on. So check out for those, and that's it. There's also a link for my podcast if you haven't checked that out. A couple of guys talking Habs in the description. Hopefully you'll click on that. Stay safe out there, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace out, y'all, and I'll see you next video, and I'll see you on the live streams. Bye, everybody.